Once the staff of Amenti was anchored within Earth's core, the next phase of the recovery began. According to the secrets of Amenti, this was the structured rebuilding of humanity itself, not random evolution, not mere biological accident, but a staged release of dimensional codes into physical form, a long effort to reconstruct what had been shattered in the fall of Tara. The text says the 5 original cloistered races polarized their energy and split into 2 functional expressions. One aspect remained as a higher frequency cloister, holding the completed overtone pattern of a DNA strand. The other became a root race, manifesting in physical density and building the base tone of that same strand in matter. In simple terms, the root race built the foundation, while the cloister held the higher pattern waiting to be activated. This is the core claim. Humanity originally possessed a 12-strand DNA template, and each root race was assigned the task of assembling one strand at a time. The process was not described as mutation in the modern biological sense, but as frequency integration. Souls from a specific dimension would incarnate into the root race body and gradually pull the frequency band of that dimension into the DNA, phase by phase, life by life, or in the original design within one extended immortal lifespan. The transmission says the body was not originally meant to decay the way it does now. It was designed to transmute into light. 24 evolutionary phases were supposed to unfold within one continuous life, allowing the human form to complete its assembly and pass upward through the blue flame into Tara's field. Death, in this framework, was never the intended mechanism. Death came later, after distortion. Reincarnation became the workaround for a broken ascent sequence. Roughly 25 million years ago, the text says the first physical seeding began. The 5 cloistered races entered Earth through different regions and through a process described as morphogenetic replication, produced the first fully formed humans of this cycle. 60 adults in total, 12 from each lineage, seeded across the planet and its antiparticle counterpart. These were described not as primitive beings emerging from apes, but as frequency carriers arriving with specific dimensional assignments. From there, the stages continued. The Lumarians emerged around 15 million years ago and were tasked with assembling DNA strand 2. Later came other waves, including the Alanians tied to strand 3. The idea is not that these were ordinary races competing for territory. In this cosmology, they were parts of an architectural sequence, each wave laying down another piece of the original multidimensional template. Each generation acting as a bridge between fragmentation and restoration. Stripped of its mythic language, the message is radical but clear. Human evolution was a staged, dimensional recovery project. Reincarnation was not punishment. It was unfinished assembly. The body was meant to become a complete circuit. And once the lower frequencies stabilized, the higher activation codes held by the cloistered races could merge back in, restoring the full 12-strand design and reopening the path through the halls of Amenti. But that process, according to the text, did not continue uninterrupted. Something happened. The halls were sealed, activation codes were removed, mortality took hold, memory collapsed, and humanity entered quarantine. In episode 8, we reach the final and perhaps most unsettling part of the story, the seal of Amenti, the loss of memory, the birth of duality, and the long recovery of a species cut off from its own design.